Hello, Flosstube. It is time for my February recap. It is March 1st, 2024. Welcome back if you viewed me before, or welcome if you're finding me for the first time. I have one fully finished object, which is very unusual for me. A finished piece, and then some whips to show you what I've been working on in February and what my plans are for March. So we will just get started. I usually don't do life updates, so we'll just get started. So for WhipGo, I'm in WhipGo. If you're not familiar with that, you fill out like a bingo board, and then they call two numbers every month, and then you do those two projects that you put on your board for those two numbers. And you can put anything on your board. I mean, it's your board. She always says it's, I've forgotten who it is that does that now. Maybe Jessie Marie does stuff. But she always says, your rules, your board, your rules. But I do try and abide by, I wait till the numbers are called, and I do that. So last month, for February, one of them, and I put on my board designers. My goal this year is to not start another project by designer until I've finished one by that designer if I already have one started. So I just put on my board designers, and I put some new starts on there, and I also put 3 squares that were fully finished an object. I have way too many things that I have stitched but have never done anything with. So this was my way of at least trying to get started on that. And I will say that since I did this one that I'm going to show you, it's made me want to do some more. So maybe I'll get some more done. I haven't had time to yet, but maybe. So this one is Big Hearted Tiny Town. And this is what I did. So it is just a box that I got from Michael's. There is a, oh, I don't know if I can, that's upside down. I don't know if I can show you the thing without dumping everything out. But it was unfinished, and I dry brushed some white paint on it, and then I got some brie wax and went over that to make it darker. And then this, so one important thing I learned, I ordered some magnets, which were great, off of Amazon, and I ordered some washers off of Amazon, which were not great. The washers did not have enough metal in them to actually hold this onto the magnet. So I ended up having to put magnets on the back of this piece, because my plan is that I will finish all of my tiny towns like this and just change them out on this box. Now you can see it just fits. It's the same length as the box. And there's just a little bit on the top and the bottom, but I liked it. And then I just filled it with some Valentine stuff. So it's about time to put this down now. Take this down and put some spring stuff up, which this is the only tiny town I have finished so far. So it'll be a while before I have another one to put on the box. But I will have to find some washers that have enough metal in them that I can actually use them. So the thought behind that is you put the washers on the back of your piece because they're less expensive than the magnets, and you put the magnets on the box, and then you only have to have one set of magnets. So I used up 2 sets of magnets, but hopefully I won't have to use any more. So that was my one fully finished object. And then I have one finished. This was the other WhipGo call, was Bent Creek. And this is something you can see. She signed it for me. This was at the 2012 Silver Needle Stitching event. So I have gone to that summer stitching event several times. And this is him all finished. I ended up having to rip out, so it's specialty stitches all around him. His buttons are specialty stitches, and in his hat are specialty stitches. And that bottom row I had to rip out because I didn't understand that what they were showing me at the end of the example was how you would do it at the end of the row. So I was doing a shorter stitch all the way across, you know, long ones and then short ones, and it didn't come out at all. So I had to redo that. But I really am pleased with the way it turned out. And I found some fabric that I think will be wonderful to go with it. So I'm just going to make a pillow out of this. so that it can go in my little dough bowl display. But I was all ramped up to do that after I finished my tiny town, and then life just didn't happen. So we'll see if I get it done now, or if it waits until next winter. Since I'm getting ready to put spring stuff out now, it may wait. All right, so those are my finished. Now we'll talk about whips. So every month I have the 2 whip go calls, and then I spin a decision wheel for another designer, and then I spin a decision wheel for one of my full coverage projects. So the other designer that I spun was Serenity Harbor, was By the Bay Needleworks, Needle by the Bay, something, Needle Art. And the one I'm working on from them is Serenity Harbor. This is just one of the charts. That's one in the middle that I was working on. I will put a picture in of what the whole thing will look like. It's a really long one. And I did 1,156 stitches on this month. This is on a Harbor Gray. It was specifically done for this. Just fold this up, maybe. That might be easier than trying to put this little board on it. Specifically for this project, I'm guessing it is fabric flare. It does not say on the edge, but usually the ones with that are fabric flare. But this is how much I have done total. And then what I was working on was this part over here, sorry. So working on, I've got some hanging threads for my leaves over here. Worked on the ocean, these leaves, and this tree. And that little top of the lighthouse. So it will go away for a while now. I think I have them set this way now. My decision wheel set so that if a project is called or a designer is called, it won't call it again until I've made it through all of them. So my guess is that one will go away and probably for the year. We'll see. Unless I just decide I want to work on it some more. All right, and then my full coverage, I forgot to pull my other chair over to put stuff on, so I'm just gonna have to put them on the floor. My full coverage that I spun was Sea Opal, so I'll put in a picture of what it looked like last time and what it's going to look like when it's finished. And this is on a 28 count, easy count. And I did 1,068 stitches on this one in February. And that puts me at a total of 3,352 stitches out of 390,000. So it is 0.86%. So not even 1% yet. But this is what I have done. So I was working, I've been doing Royal Rose, and so I was working down here. It's going to be beautiful when it's done someday. All right. So I am putting these back in their bags just so I don't have as big a mess when I'm done. But I did try and get them all unzipped beforehand. This next one was not on my plans for stitching, but the Whip Warriors group I'm in, on one of the road trip, I'm in the road trip group of it. You had to work on a fancy lady, or you didn't have to, but you got a special something if you did. And I thought, well, I've got plenty of fancy ladies. So this is Fairy Autumn Glow by Nora Corbett. I have seen people posting on Instagram that they're in Australia, they're at a retreat with her, and I was like, oh, so jealous. I'll put a picture in of what it looked like last time. This is where she is now. I worked mostly over here on her dress. So if you love these fancy ladies, but you're a little worried about tackling one of the big Mirabilia ones. These Nora Corbett ones are smaller and generally don't have as many beads. So that's a good place to start. All right, then this one I pull out at the end of the month. It's kind of just like a focus piece each month. It's one that I'm doing for my son and future daughter-in-law for their wedding. And I'll put a picture in of what it will look like when it's done. It's one that I got off of Etsy from Nikki Pattern. This isn't the pattern, so I could show you, but that's her name. And it has a place, as you'll see in the picture, for me to put their names and their date, their wedding date. So this is where I am now. This one I did 1,127 stitches. I forgot to tell you on the Fairy Autumn Glow I did 354 stitches, and it's on the called for, I believe, which is a Witchelt Beach Walk linen. Trying to be better about remembering to tell you. So as you saw, it said the adventure begins. So I finished South America, now I'm over here. The heart you put in where their adventure begins. I had a hard time trying to figure out where to put it, not only because you're just trying to look at the pattern and the pattern is split between 2 pages right across there, and just trying to figure out where to put it was a challenge. Plus, they live in Denver. They're moving to Arkansas in the summer, and they will eventually live in Dallas. So, and they met in Arkansas. So I just kind of put it in the middle there, like it could be Arkansas, it could be Dallas. So that's one that I pull out towards the end of each month when I have my other plans done. But I do try and get a good amount of stitching on it every month. And then I often pull out the Fabulous House series from Country Cottage Samplings, but Cottage Garden Samplings, sorry about that, Cottage Garden Samplings. But for some reason this month I just wasn't feeling it, so I don't know what made me pull this out, but I did. This is Plum Pudding by Glendon Place. It's so pretty, and I use the called for silks. It is, oh, I forgot to tell you what that, see, I can't remember. It's on a Bestitch Me. The Adventure one is on, I think it's Hot Cocoa by Bestitch Me. Yes, Hot Cocoa. It's really pretty. Okay. One of these days I'll remember to do that for all of them and not have to go back. Whoa. Okay, Glendon Place. This is on the called for, which is a Picture This Plus. It's a 28 count Sprite. And because it is symmetrical, I had to put a little T in the top. And I just went to town on it. Let's see, I did 2,239 stitches. And I finished, let me see if I can, all of the cross stitch. So I was working up here. I did all of this, and I think this, and then a couple of these. So all of the cross stitch is done. Now I have to go back and do beads, and I have done some of the beads. I had to do it for a challenge a couple years ago, I think it was. So I have done some of the beads over here. And like that's all beads right there in the middle there. I don't know how well they come across on the camera, but so I have to do the beads and then it will be completely done. So I've got probably a little over a quarter of the beads done. But it'll get put away for now. I probably won't pull it out to do the beads right now. I don't know when I'll pull it out to do that. So that was fun. And then the only other whip I've been working on is, it might be a new start since I filmed last time. This is Valentine's Day Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And I'm doing on the called for blush fabric with the called for ripe melon floss from, I think it's Crescent Colors. Classic Colorworks, sorry, Crescent Colors is the old name. Yeah, Classic Colorworks, ripe melon. And this one I don't have a stitch count because this is what I work on at lunch. Yeah, it's so hard to get good color on camera because that's a little bit better. So I don't have a stitch count on this just because I work on it at lunch. I have a couple of friends, we get together for 30 minutes at lunch and stitch. So it goes slow, but it's fun. Although I have been feeling the urge to put this one down, and I purchased the other day, I don't know if I brought that with me, I don't think I did, their autumn Quaker and some green floss that I might have to start so I have something. I don't have anything for St. Patrick's Day to put in my dough bowl. I just have spring flowers and stuff. Okay, those are all my whips. That was a total of 6,387 stitches for the month, which is about average for me. 6,000 to 7,000 is what I usually do. So let me show you the plans for the next month. So the whip go numbers were called. They're number 1 and number 10. So number 1 is my oldest whip. This is so old. I started it over 20 years ago. I can't even tell you when I started it. Let's see what the copyright is on it, if it's in here. 92. So it was probably not too much after that. This is Church Street by Barbara and Cheryl. And I love it, and I still love it. And because it is full coverage, I don't even mind that it's on Ada. I'll still finish it. So I took it off the Q-snap so I could show you the whole thing. I did work on it a little bit last night. There's a Leap Day event in one of the groups I'm in on Facebook. This is really hard to show because I'm trying to hold the thing behind it too. All right, let's see. There, you can kind of see. So I'm not even halfway done yet. But it is going to be stunning when it's finished. But there was an event. There's an event that's just going on until tomorrow for Leap Day in the Semi-Sane group. And it was, you know, do something that has exactly 4 of something. I don't remember what all the prompts were, but it was like, work on a whip that you've been working on that you started more than 4 years ago. I was like, okay, this one definitely qualifies. And it was one of my calls for whip go, so I thought that'll work. So last night I just did this dark color down here, part of the sidewalk. And I have done some of the back stitches I'm going, which really adds to it. Just so I don't have all of that to do at the end. So my whip go calls, I work on them for 5 days. So that one's had 1 day so far. All right, I'm gonna have to put that all back together. We have a mess. All right, and then the other whip go call, number 10, was hands-on design. And I have a couple in here, but this is my oldest one, so I'm gonna try and finish it first. This is Block Party Home. That's kind of a dark picture of it. And it comes with the wool to put on the top, and then I have the buttons in here too. So I have been working on the outside. So this is where I am on this one. I don't know how many more houses I have to do, but I would love to get it finished. And then the top, you can kind of see, has trees. So just the tops of the trees. So hopefully when I put this together, I'll be able to line it up so that my trees will line up. So I will be working down here on this end. More houses and more trees. But I think I have almost all of the block parties, and I really do want to do them. Oh, so I'm going to try and get that one done. If I get that one done, then I did start for the Jingle Ball. This was one of the ones. This was her block party from the Jingle Ball. So it's not available right now. My guess is it will come out next year. And I started it. This was on Picture This Plus Pappas. And I only worked on it while I was watching her finishing class at the Jingle Ball. And that green is a little brighter in real person. So I didn't get very much done. But if I get Block Party Home done, which that probably won't happen, not in 5 days. All right, and then, yes, the Heaven and Earth that I drew was Hot Air Balloon Sunset, and I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like when it's done. This one I haven't worked on in quite a while, so it's still diagonal. It's kind of dark. It's not that dark in person. It's a brighter blue. This one I did get Max Colors. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. My light just quit. All right, well, good thing we're at the end almost. You can almost see the colors better without it, can't you? But I haven't worked on that one for a long time, so I'll have to decide if I'm going to stick with diagonal on that one or if I'm going to try and convert it over to Royal Rose. And then the other, the miscellaneous designer that my wheel picked was Glendon Place, which was the plum pudding I had just done. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do the beads right now. So I spun it again, and it came up with Alessandra Adelaide. And the one I'm working on from her is Bat Banner. But I'm not doing it on the orange. I'm doing it, I don't know that it says. This was from my old local needlework store, and they didn't put the names on there. So, but it's a nice gray. So when I was calculating where to start, I didn't take into effect that the bat wings went outside of this. So I don't have a lot here, but hopefully I'll still be able to get it framed or finish it myself on a board or something. But it's going to be pretty long when it's all done. So it may not be anything I want to tackle myself. But it's just like 4 colors. It's a dark gray, 4 colors, black, white, and an orange. I don't know where the orange is. I don't know. Anyway, that will be the other piece I work on, which is fun because I've worked on that for a while. Even though it's, you know, a Halloween piece really, or at least a fall piece, it'll still be fun to do. And I have I think it's the spider banner. I have a piece of fabric to do it also someday, but I haven't started that one. Okay, well, we are out of light, and I have haul. I almost forgot. I got some today in the mail. All right. So if you're in the Be Stitch Me Club and you don't want to see, this would be February's fabric of the month. Look away, but it's Vanilla Latte. And I get 32 count linen. And it's a real pretty yellowish. It's so hard to get fabric. That's not too bad to show up on camera. And then there's a needlework shop in Tulsa, the Silver Needle. I've already talked about them. That they have a Super Bowl sale. So I ordered some stuff from them and it came. So this is what I got from them. This is a Symphony of Friendship by Cottage Garden Samplings. I just love those birds. That tree is going to be a monster to do. But, so I may have to do a little bit of the tree trunk and a branch and then do a bird and kind of go back and forth. This is from With Thy Needle, Brenda Gervais. Key to My Heart. I was on a Valentine kick at the time. And then there were a couple of Christmas ones. I didn't have the Pop of Christmas. I have several of these, and I think there might be a new one coming out at Market. Yeah, next time I'll have a lot to show you from Market. And then this is from, I think this is, yeah, Madame Chantilly, and it's Christmas. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I don't know when I'll work on that one. Because it's Christmas and I won't want to work on it yet. And then the other thing I picked up was, this was from my local needlework store here in Little Rock, Shepherd's Needle. This is Moonlight Sampler from Blue Flower. And I've seen so many people work on this, and I just, every time I see it, I like it even better. And then I did get some fabric for it. It's 32 count light taupe Lugana. I had seen somebody do it on a lavender, and so we tried to look at those, but I couldn't find anything I liked, so I just went with a neutral. And then my stuff that I just got today in the mail is from a new Etsy, new to me, Etsy shop. Well, here, I'll show you first. So I got a couple of floss rings. I love butterflies. And then I got some floss drops that are butterflies. And then a beach one. And so let me move this so you can see. I saw somebody else showing her stuff. There it is. Sweet Autumn Stitches. I saw somebody else showing her stuff on Flosstube, and I loved it, and I went right out and looked, and I could have bought a ton more, but I just started with those. My one of my plans this year is for my New Year New Start. I want to start the butterfly cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews, and so I want to use the butterfly ring and floss drops for that. And then she sent this adorable little bunny as a free gift. Whoops. So he's like a zipper pull, or isn't he cute? That's really cute. All right, so I will definitely be ordering from her again, because she had so many, especially the floss rings. She had so many of those. Okay, that is it now. That's everything I've worked on and my purchases. Like I said, when I come back to show you my March progress, there will be a lot more purchases because I will have my market stuff by then. I can't wait. We'll see if I can resist or if I have to start something. Okay, that is it for this time. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in April. Bye.